So you'll get a second copy of this. So this is so that you have a written example of everything I expect out of you. Okay, so does anybody want to guess why I picked Denver?
You like skiing.
I don't.
You like hiking.
I do like to hike, but
Mountains. You believe in the conspiracy theory of the Denver airport.
You were born there.
Wait, you were born in Denver?
I was.
I did not know that.
Lots of people don't know that. And in fact, my brother's dog is named Elway.
How long did you live
LA?
there?
We moved when I was little, when I was 6.
Wait, did you say your brother's dog's name is LA?
Elway, because John Elway was the quarterback for the Denver Broncos when they, back in the 80s and 90s.
So you were
I knew that.
If I were to be an NFL fan, I'd pull for the Broncos, but I don't really watch football anymore.
Russell, what happened?
All right. The next thing you're going to do is say, what are some qualities that would make you think that the population in that city is growing? So I want you to do some research about the city, right? Find out why someone might want to move there. And so for Denver, I might say, well, hiking and mountaineering. So I'm going to say rock climbing. It's a large city with lots of industry. You guys see what I'm saying here? Notice, that's worth a decent amount of points. You're going to make sure you're including a decent amount of detail. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. The next thing you're going to do is look up what was that city's population in 2000. Okay? I found Google to be a useful tool to figure out what was the city's population in the year 2000. Do you guys get what I'm saying here? All right. So it turns out in 2000, Denver had 555,651. In 2010, Denver's population was 603,012. All right. From here, I want you to work backwards to figure out what was the annual growth rate for that particular city. So to find that, well, are you guys with me that the final population should equal the initial population, so I'm just using P, times 1 plus R to the year's power in this case. So if I were going to do the math on that, I would have 603 equals the 2000 population, times 1 plus whatever that rate is to the 10 power. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Now, you guys tell me. What do I do first? By? And guys, when I divided that, I got 1.0852. Does that sound about right to you guys? With calculators? Now, this one's it is a little bit different here. What do I need to get rid of next? The exponent. And do I need a log to get rid of this exponent? No, because it's a number. Okay, so I'm going to take a root from the side because I know which root to take. Yeah? So I'm going to take the 10th root of both sides. Now, The 10th root of the right-hand side is 1 plus r. Do you guys know how to take the 10th root of the other side?
Can't you go into math, at number 5 where that has n over root, and then for that n you can go in terms?
Yeah, math 5 you should be able to do. And when I did that, I got 1.0082. So what does that make my rate? 0.82%. And all you do is, because you would subtract 1 from both sides, and then for percents, you move the decimal 2 places. So I get 0.0082 equals r, and then if I move that decimal point 2 places, it'd be right here. 0.82%. Are we doing okay still?
So that's 82%?
No, that's 0.82%. Because it's 0.0082, and then once you move it over 2, you're there. You're done.
So then when you're writing it, do you just write 0.0082 or 0.82 when you're doing it like 1 plus r?
Typically, if I'm asking you for the rate, I want you to take the what is r as a percent.
Okay.
So this r equals 0.82% would be my final answer.
Okay.
That's like kind of like solid. It's just like, yeah, good.
Okay. So, you guys, if that's the case, what should the population be in 10 more years? Is it going to grow by the same number? No. It's going to grow by that same percentage. Okay. So, what should you do? You have kind of 2 options to do this. Okay? You can either do that the final amount is equal to 6,3012 times 1.0082 to the 10th, or you can take that initial amount to the 20th. You either say I'm 20 years from the year 2000 or 10 years from 2010. Do you guys see? And both of these should give us pretty darn close to the same answer. And I have no idea what that is.
8.835, and so it's 1%.
That feels big.
Yeah.
Do you have 1.0082?
I don't know.
Because you would move it 2 the other way when you added it back on.
I got 654,238.
Well, but round down. Yeah, we don't have 0.29 people. That would be problematic. All right. So after you do that calculation, you're also going to answer the question, does that match what actually happened in 2020? So you're going to be looking at what is that new population number, okay, and making a direct comparison. So I looked it up. This was the population in Denver in 2020. So what does this tell us?
Our growth rate changed.
We can even be more specific. It started growing more quickly, right? Because this is more than what we would have anticipated. And that's all it would say. Denver started growing more quickly. Perfect. And then set it right on that pile, 'cause that's where I'm grading. Are we good? So far? All right. Mrs. Roth totally ruined my color choices on this iPad. All right. If the current growth rate continues, and you're going to use the one that you've already found, you don't have to find a new one if it changes by that much, okay? All right. If it continues, how long will it take to grow by 10% from its population in 2020? Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is say, well, 10% of 2000, if it's growing by 10% in 2020, the first thing you're going to do is take 1.1 times its population in 2020. Just to figure out what is that new population. I have no idea what the answer is, y'all.
809,091.8.
809,000.
Or
Yes.
809, and then 90. Yeah.
091.
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to know.
Divide by 735,538.
And you should end up with 1.1. Now, can we take the teeth root?
Why?
No.
What 1.1 then?
Because when you divide it, you should end up with 1.1.
Oh, I thought you were, okay.
So in this case, now my exponent is a variable. I can't get rid of it by just taking a root. So this is when I take that log of both sides. So you're going to do log of 1.1 divided by log of 1.0082. And that's going to equal your t. And I have no idea what the answer is because I worked 11.6.
167.
So 11.7 years. Which, by the way, will be 2032. That's when it'll happen.
So, yeah, quick project.
Mm-hmm. It's not like we did a really extensive packet. It's like this wasn't a very long unit. Notice it's also not a very, points-wise, it's 20 points. It's not a huge amount. Yeah.
If we change the reasoning, can we just change the same?
I'm sorry?
If we change the reasoning, can we just change the same?
If you change the what?
Reasoning, like why we chose the city?
No. You're not allowed to use Denver. And guys, originally I tried to use Grandview. Grandview's not a good city to use.
What's that?
The yard in the past 20 years has changed the population in a super weird and unpredictable way that it doesn't really fit in Grandview. So I'm going to ask that you don't use Grandview either.
What about Columbus?
Columbus you can probably use.
Haven't Cincinnati and Cleveland been losing population?
I could see that.
I don't actually, I mean, compared to like the 1950s, absolutely. I don't know about now.